I blocked his number 3 months ago. He still doesn't believe it's permanent. I know because Sarah told me he showed up at the hospital last week. Tried to walk right into the cafeteria like he had every right to be there. Security escorted him out. He looked angry, she said. Not sad, angry. Like I was the one who'd done something wrong. But let me go back. Because this didn't start 3 months ago. It started on a Tuesday with a credit card statement. I was sitting on our couch, the couch I bought when Marcus was between jobs, scrolling through our joint account charges. Rent was due. I was making sure everything cleared. That's when I saw it. The Riverside Inn, $243. March 15th. I stared at that line item for a full minute before I opened my calendar. March 15th. The weekend Marcus said he was at a leadership conference in Baltimore. My hands didn't shake. That's what I remember most. I thought they would, but they were completely steady as I pulled up his email, found the conference confirmation. Different hotel, different city. I took a screenshot. I don't know why. Maybe I thought I'd need proof. Maybe I just needed to make it real. When he got home that night, I was still on the couch. Same spot. I'd been sitting there for 4 hours.
Hey babe, you eat yet?
I held up my phone. We need to talk about this. He walked over, looked at the screen. I watched his face, watched him decide whether to lie. He chose honesty, or maybe just exhaustion.
It's complicated.
Complicated.
We've been growing apart. You're always at the hospital. I've been lonely.
I let that sit between us for a moment. 6 years together, and that's what he led with, lonely. How long?
Does it matter?
How long, Marcus? He sat down, not next to me, on the chair across from me.
4 months, maybe 5.
5 months. While I was picking up his dry cleaning, while I was meal prepping his lunches, while I was covering rent so he could take that MBA prep course, while I was working 60-hour weeks so he could find himself through 3 different career pivots. 5 months. He reached over, put his hand on my knee.
Look, we can work through this. Couples therapy. We can take a break, figure things out.
I stood up. His hand fell away. I'm not taking a break, Marcus. I'm done. He actually laughed, a short, disbelieving sound.
Come on, don't be dramatic. We've been together 6 years. You don't just throw that away.
I looked at him, really looked at him, and I felt something shift, something final. You already did. I stayed at Sarah's that night. I didn't sleep. I laid on her pull-out couch and stared at the ceiling and felt everything I'd been pushing down for months, maybe years, rise up all at once. The loneliness, the resentment, the exhaustion of carrying someone who never seemed to notice the weight. My phone buzzed 3 times in the first hour. Short messages. I could see the previews. Can we talk? This is silly. Call me when you're ready. I turned off my notifications. Sarah came out around 2 a.m., found me still awake.
You okay?
No, but I will be. By Friday, I'd moved everything that mattered into a storage unit. Clothes, books, the coffee maker, I bought it, it was mine. My nursing certifications, the quilt my grandmother made me. I left the furniture, the dishes, the TV, all the things we'd accumulated that never really felt like mine anyway. Marcus sent a few more texts that week. I saw the notification count climbing but didn't open them. Just call me. We need to discuss this like adults. You're being unreasonable. On day 3, I blocked his number. Sarah asked me if I was sure.
What if he has something important to say?
He had 5 months to say something important. I'm done listening. The mutual friends started reaching out by week 2. He says you won't talk to him. Maybe you guys just need some space to cool off. He seems really confused about what happened. I kept my answers short. I'm not interested in reconciliation. Please respect that. Most of them stopped asking after a few attempts. Some of them stopped calling altogether, and I realized they weren't my friends, they were our friends. And when you split an us, some people just fall away. I was okay with that. I threw myself into work, picked up every extra shift I could get, stayed late, came in early, started studying for my critical care certification, the one I'd postponed twice because Marcus needed help with his resume, his interview prep, his networking events. I joined a gym, started running again, something I'd loved in college but abandoned because Marcus said it took time away from us. I went to therapy. Actual therapy, with a real therapist who didn't tell me what I wanted to hear. She asked me, in our 3rd session, "What are you most angry about?" I thought about it. That I wasted 6 years. Did you waste them? I was with someone who cheated on me for 5 months and didn't think I'd leave, so yeah, I wasted them. She tilted her head. Or you learned what you won't accept anymore. I didn't have an answer for that, not then. But I thought about it a lot. 6 weeks after I left, Marcus tried the accidental encounter approach. I was in the hospital cafeteria, my usual break time, 2 p.m. Tuesday. I saw him before he saw me, just standing near the entrance, looking around, looking for me. I stood up, walked straight to the security desk. "There's someone here who needs to be removed. He's not a patient or a visitor. He's harassing me." Dennis didn't ask questions.
Show me.
I pointed. Marcus saw me, started walking toward me.
Wait, I just need to talk.
Dennis stepped between us.
Sir, you need to leave.
I just want to have a conversation, like adults.
His voice wasn't pleading. It was irritated, like I was being unreasonable.
Sir, the lady's asked you to leave. Let's go.
I watched from the 3rd floor window as they escorted him to the parking lot. He looked back at the building, not heartbroken, angry. I stepped away from the window. I want to tell you I felt nothing, that I was strong and unbothered and completely over it. But that would be a lie. I went into the staff bathroom and cried for 10 minutes. Not because I missed him, but because 6 years doesn't just disappear. You can't delete your feelings like you delete a contact. I was angry. I was heartbroken. I was grieving something that had been dead longer than I'd realized. But I was also sure. Sure that leaving was right. Sure that blocking him was right. Sure that refusing to engage was the only way to survive this. You can be hurt and be done at the same time. I learned that. 3 months after I left, something shifted. I realized I hadn't thought about him in 2 days, then a week, then 2 weeks. I passed my critical care certification, top of my cohort. I started going to social events again, not looking for anything, just existing in the world. That's when I met Daniel. Hospital fundraiser. He was a physician assistant in pediatrics. Quiet, kind. He made me laugh without trying too hard. He asked for my number. I gave it to him. Our first date was coffee. Simple, easy. He asked about my work, my interests, my goals. He didn't make me feel like I existed to support someone else's dreams. He asked me out again. I said yes. I didn't tell him about Marcus for 3 months. Not because I was hiding it, but because it didn't feel relevant. When I finally did, when he asked about my last relationship, I kept it simple. It ended badly. He cheated. I left.
I'm sorry.
I'm not. And I meant it. A year after I left Marcus, I realized something. I didn't forgive him. I didn't need to. Forgiveness would have required me to carry him with me, to process what he did, to work through it. I just put him down. And I walked away.
She blocked my number. Actually blocked me after 6 years. I found out when I tried to call her the next morning, straight to that automated voice. The person you are trying to reach. I stared at my phone. Okay, she was pissed. I got it. But blocking me? That was childish. I sent a few texts over the next couple days, kept them simple. Can we talk? This is silly. Just call me. We need to discuss this like adults. All failed to deliver. Fine. She wanted space. I'd give her space. A few days, maybe a week, she'd calm down. I called Sarah on day 4. Hey, can you talk to her? Tell her she's being ridiculous. Silence on the other end. Sarah?
She doesn't want to talk to you, Marcus.
I know she's mad, but blocking me over one mistake?
One mistake that lasted 5 months?
Can you just tell her I want to work this out? We can go to therapy, whatever she needs.
I'll tell her you called.
She hung up. The thing with Jess was still going fine. We'd grab drinks after work. She'd come over a couple nights a week. It was easy, uncomplicated. She didn't know about the breakup yet. I hadn't really mentioned it. Why would I? It wasn't serious, just a temporary thing. A week after she left, Jess asked, "So what are you doing this weekend?" Not sure yet, probably just laying low. Want to grab brunch Sunday? There's this place. Yeah, maybe. I'll let you know. She gave me a look. You okay? You seem distracted. I'm fine. Just work stuff. Work was fine too. Same projects, same deadlines, same coffee in the break room. I kept checking my phone though. Habit. Waiting for her name to pop up. It didn't. 2 weeks in, I was having drinks with my buddy Chris.
How's things with you, and what's her name?
We're taking some space.
Space or done?
Space. She's upset about something. She'll get over it.
What'd you do?
I shrugged. Doesn't matter. She's being dramatic. We'll work it out. Chris raised his beer.
Good luck with that, man.
3 weeks in, I drove past the apartment. Her car wasn't in her usual spot. It hadn't been there in weeks, actually. I called Sarah again. Where is she staying?
That's not your business, Marcus.
I just want to know she's safe.
She's safe. She's fine. And she doesn't want to hear from you.
Sarah, come on.
Marcus, let it go.
She hung up before I could respond. A month in, I started to feel something. Not panic, not yet. Just awareness. It had been a month, 4 weeks. That was longer than I'd expected. Usually when we fought, she'd cool off in a couple days, a week, tops. But a month? I tried one more message from a work messaging app she probably hadn't thought to block. I know you're upset, I get it, but we should talk. We've been together too long to just throw it away. Read receipt. Message seen. No response. I waited 2 days. Nothing. Okay, fine. Month 2, Jess noticed. We were at her place. I was on my phone, checking to see if maybe she'd unblocked me, maybe she'd cooled off.
Are you waiting for someone to call?
What? No.
You've checked your phone like 20 times in the last hour.
I haven't.
Marcus, you're not over her.
I looked up. I am. She's just being stubborn about something. I need to clear the air, then we can both move on. Jess set down her wine glass.
It's been 2 months.
Has it?
Yeah, Marcus, it has. And if she wanted to clear the air, she would have by now.
I didn't have an answer for that. Jess stood up. Jess.
I'm not interested in being your backup plan, or your distraction, or whatever this is.
You're not.
Yeah, I am. And I'm done.
She walked to her door, opened it. I left. Sitting in my car outside Jess's apartment, I realized something. It had been 2 months. 2 months since she'd moved out, since she'd blocked me, since she'd spoken to me at all. That was longer than I thought. But she'd come around. Eventually. She had to. We'd been together 6 years. People don't just walk away from that. Month 3, I decided I needed to see her. I looked up her shift schedule, still had access to the hospital staff portal from when I used to pick her up sometimes. Tuesday, 2 p.m. break, cafeteria. I'd just talk to her, face to face. She couldn't ignore me if I was standing right there. I saw her before she saw me. Sitting alone, eating a salad, scrolling her phone. She looked fine, normal, like nothing had happened. I started walking toward her table. She looked up, made eye contact, and stood up, walked straight past me, to the security desk. I watched her point at me. Security started walking toward me. Wait, I just need to talk to her. Sir, you need to leave. I just want to have a conversation, like adults. This is ridiculous. Sir, the lady's asked you to leave. Let's go. People were staring. She was making a scene. Over this. Over me just wanting to talk. This is insane. But I left. Sitting in my car in the parking lot, I felt something shift. Not panic, not devastation. Anger. She'd had me removed, by security. Like I was some kind of threat, some kind of stalker. After 6 years together. What the hell was wrong with her? I called Sarah that night. She had security throw me out of the hospital.
Good.
Good, Sarah? I just wanted to talk to her.
She doesn't want to talk to you. How many times do you need to hear that?
This is ridiculous. We're adults. We should be able to.
Marcus, stop. Just stop. Just stop.
My voice rose. I need her to understand that this is childish, that we can work through this. Sarah's voice went hard.
Marcus, she's not coming back. Accept it.
You don't know that. She hung up. Month 4. I had my performance review. My manager, Kevin, sat across from me with a folder.
Marcus, I'll be direct. Your output's been inconsistent. You seem distracted.
I've been dealing with some personal stuff.
I understand. But this is a professional environment. We need you focused.
I nodded, tried to look engaged.
The senior account manager position. I know you applied.
I sat up straighter. This was it. The promotion would fix everything. More money, better title, fresh start.
We've decided to go with another candidate.
Everything stopped. What?
Brendan's getting the role.
Brendan? He's been here 2 years less than me. I trained him. Kevin shifted in his seat.
There were concerns about your judgment. Your personal situation, the relationship with Jess, it created some discomfort on the team.
My personal life has nothing to do with my work.
It does when it involves a coworker, Marcus. When leadership found out about the affair, it raised questions about your professionalism, your decision-making.
I sat there, stunned. This is because I dated someone from work?
This is because you had an affair with someone from work while in a long-term relationship. It showed poor judgment. And in a leadership role, judgment matters.
He closed the folder.
Get your head right, Marcus, because right now, you're on thin ice.
I sat in my car in the parking garage for 30 minutes. They took the promotion because of Jess, because of my personal situation. If she'd just talked to me, if she'd just let me explain, none of this would have happened. This was her fault. I pulled out my phone, typed, "You cost me my promotion. Are you happy now?" Hovered over send, deleted it. Tried to think of what to say that wouldn't make things worse. Couldn't think of anything. Put the phone down. Month 5. Exact. Rent was due. I logged into my bank account, checked the balance. I'd been dipping into savings the past few months, not thinking about it, just transferring what I needed to cover the shortfall. But savings was getting low. I'd never actually looked at what rent cost versus what I made. She'd been covering a lot more than I realized. I transferred another chunk from savings to checking. It's fine, I told myself, just until I get my bonus, or a raise, or something. Month 6. I came home from work to find an envelope on my door. Lease renewal notice. Rent was going up, $200 a month. I stared at the number. $2,000 a month. I couldn't afford this. Not on my salary, not without. I crumpled the notice, threw it on the counter. I'd figure it out. Month 7. Kevin called me into his office again. I knew before I sat down.
Marcus, I'm sorry. We're restructuring. Your position is being eliminated.
Just like that. 6 years with the company. Gone.
We'll give you 2 weeks severance and a reference letter.
2 weeks. I cleaned out my desk that afternoon. Nobody said goodbye. I filed for unemployment the next day. Sat in the apartment and did the math. Rent $2,000, unemployment $1,400 a month, savings $3,200 left. I had 2 months, maybe 3 if I stretched it. Then what? I applied to everything. Entry level, mid-level, lateral moves, pay cuts. Got a few phone screens, a couple first-round interviews. No offers. We'll keep your resume on file. We decided to go with a candidate with more recent experience. We're looking for someone who's a better culture fit. Month 9. I couldn't make rent. I called my landlord. I can get you half now, the rest in 2 weeks when... Marcus, we've been through this. Rent is due on the 1st. You're already 10 days late. I know. I'm just waiting on some job offers to come through. I need the full amount by the end of the month or we're starting eviction proceedings. I called my dad. Haven't called him in years, not for anything real. Dad, hey, I need to ask you something. Silence on the other end. I lost my job. I can't afford my apartment. Can I stay with you and Mom for a bit? Just until I find something. More silence. Den, how long? I don't know, a few months maybe. I heard him sigh. Your mother will want you home, I'll tell her. Thanks, Dad. Besuv. We'll talk when you get here. He hung up. Month 10. I stood in my parents' driveway looking at my childhood home. The same house I'd left at 18, swearing I'd never move back. Here I was, 32, unloading a U-Haul. My dad came out, helped me carry boxes. Didn't say much. When we finished, he stood there, arms crossed.
I told you that job wasn't stable.
I know, Dad.
And that girl, what was her name?
I don't want to talk about it.
You should have fought harder for her. Good women don't come around often.
I stared at him. She left me, Dad. She blocked my number. What was I supposed to do?
Not cheat on her in the first place.
He walked inside. I stood there in the driveway surrounded by boxes. And for the first time, I felt it. Real panic. Everything was falling apart. My job, my apartment, my independence. And she wasn't coming back to fix it. I was sleeping in my childhood bedroom. The same twin bed. The same posters on the wall that my mom never took down. 32 years old. Unemployed. Living with my parents. Single. How did I get here? I tried dating apps. Put up a recent photo. Wrote something generic about my interests. Left the employment section blank. Got a few matches. One date. We met for coffee. She seemed nice. So what do you do? I'm between jobs right now, consulting while I figure out my next move. It wasn't technically a lie. I was looking. That counted as consulting, right? Oh, what field? Account management, corporate stuff. She nodded, looked at her phone. I actually have to go, early morning tomorrow. Oh, sure. Can I get your number? I'll find you on the app if I want to reconnect. She didn't. Month 12. A full year since she left. I tried to reach out one more time. Got a new number, typed out a message. I know you blocked me. I know you don't want to hear from me. But I need you to know things are really bad. I lost my job. I'm living with my parents. Everything fell apart. Can we please just talk? I just need to understand why you won't even give me a chance to apologize. I sent it. Checked my phone every 10 minutes for 3 days. Yeah, nothing. Month 14. I was at a bar, alone, 4th beer in, trying not to think about the fact that it had been over a year. Over a year since she left. That's when I saw Sarah walk in. I should have stayed at the bar, should have let her have her night. But I was drunk and desperate, and I needed to know. I walked over. Sarah, hey. She turned, saw me, her face fell.
Marcus, you need to go home.
Can I ask you something? She glanced at her friends, back at me.
What?
Is he happy? Sarah closed her eyes, took a breath.
Yes, Marcus. She's happy.
Happier than she was with me?
What do you want me to say?
The truth.
Yes, she's happier. She moved on. She has a good life. And you need to do the same.
I can't. I don't know how. Everything's falling apart and my voice cracked. I just need to apologize. I just need 5 minutes. Just to tell her I'm sorry. That I didn't realize.
Marcus.
That I didn't realize what I had. That I took her for granted. That if I could just go back.
Marcus, stop.
Sarah's voice was firm but not unkind.
She doesn't want to hear it. She doesn't want your apology. She doesn't think about you anymore. And you showing up like this, drunk, desperate, this is exactly why she left.
That stopped me. What?
You never saw her, Marcus. You never saw what she was carrying, what she was giving up for you. And now that it's gone, now that you're facing consequences, you finally notice. But it's too late.
She turned back to her friends. I stood there for a moment, then walked out. I sat in my car in the parking lot, and I cried. Really cried, for the first time since she left. Because Sarah was right. I didn't see her. I didn't see what she was doing, what she was sacrificing. I just took it for granted. Took her for granted. And now she was gone. Ho-ho! Month 18. I got a text in a group chat. Chris posting someone's engagement announcement. I almost ignored it. Then I saw the photo. Her. Wearing a ring. The guy next to her, tall, clean-cut, smiling, had his arm around her. The caption. She said yes. I stared at that photo. Read every comment. 50 people congratulating her. So happy for you. You guys are perfect together. Finally some good news. I scrolled to the guy's profile. Daniel, physician assistant, works at the same hospital. They looked happy. Really happy. I typed a comment. Congratulations. You deserve all the happiness. Stared at it. Deleted it. Typed another. I'm happy for you. Deleted it. What could I possibly say? What right did I have to say anything? I closed the app. I sat there in my childhood bedroom staring at the ceiling, and I finally understood. She wasn't coming back. She was never coming back. I'd spent a year and a half thinking, hoping that eventually she'd cool off, that she'd forgive me, that we'd talk, that I'd get a chance to explain, to apologize, to make it right. I thought I had time. But I didn't. She'd decided, the day she left, the day she packed her things and walked out, the day she blocked my number. She was done. And nothing I did after that mattered. I lost her because I didn't see her. I lost her because I took her for granted. I lost her because I thought she'd always be there no matter what I did. And when she wasn't, when she removed herself from my life, everything else fell apart. The job, the apartment, the future I thought I was building. It was all built on her. On her income, her support, her emotional labor, her belief in me. And I never even knew it. Not until it was gone. Not until she was gone. She was gone the day she left. And I'll never get her back.
6 months after I left, I had a routine. Work, gym, therapy, dinner with Sarah once a week, dates with Daniel on weekends. I was okay. Not great, not healed, but functional, moving forward. I still had bad days. Days where I'd see a couple at the grocery store and feel that twist in my chest. Days where I'd remember something Marcus said, some small moment, and have to remind myself why I left. But those days were fewer. Daniel was patient. He didn't push, didn't ask why I sometimes went quiet, didn't make me feel like I had to be over it to deserve his time. After 3 months of dating, he asked me to meet his sister. I panicked. That's a big step.
Only if you want it to be. No pressure. I just think you'd like her.
I almost said no. Almost said I wasn't ready. But I went anyway. His sister was warm, funny, easy to talk to. She asked about my work, my running, my goals. She didn't ask about my past. It felt safe. 1 year after I left Marcus, Sarah asked me to meet her for coffee.
I need to tell you something.
My stomach dropped. Hot? What?
Marcus asked me to give you a message.
I set down my cup. I don't want to hear it.
I know, but I told him I'd ask.
The answer is no. Sarah nodded.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to respect his request.
She paused.
He's not doing well. He lost his job. Moved back in with his parents.
I felt something. Not satisfaction, not pity, just distance. I'm sorry he's struggling, but I'm not responsible for that anymore. Sarah smiled, sad but understanding.
I know. I just thought you should know he's not going to stop trying to reach you unless someone tells him it's really over.
It's really over.
I'll tell him.
I had other things to focus on. Daniel and I were talking about moving in together. I was up for a promotion at the hospital. I was training for a half marathon. My life was full. 18 months after I left, Daniel proposed. We were at the park where we'd had our first real date. Nothing elaborate, just him, me, and a question.
Will you marry me?
I said yes. Not because I'd gotten over Marcus, but because I'd built something new, something healthy, something that didn't require me to shrink myself to fit. Sarah posted a photo, tagged me. I was wearing the ring. Daniel had his arm around me. We were both smiling. The comments flooded in. Friends, colleagues, people I hadn't talked to in years. Everyone was happy for me. 2 years after I left Marcus, Daniel and I bought a house. It was small, a 2-bedroom in a quiet neighborhood, nothing fancy. But it was ours. We spent our first weekend unpacking boxes, arguing over where to put furniture, laughing at how neither of us knew how to assemble an IKEA bookshelf. It was normal, easy, good. Sarah came over to help us paint the living room. While Daniel was outside getting more supplies, she said, "You know he saw the engagement announcement, right?" I stopped mid-brushstroke. "Marcus?"
Yeah, I heard he was pretty upset.
I dipped my brush back in the paint.
Do you want to know how he's doing?
I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I really don't. Sarah smiled.
Good.
I'm not happy because he's suffering. I want to be clear about that. I'm not one of those people who finds joy in someone else's pain. But I'm also not responsible for fixing him, for managing his emotions, for making sure he's okay. I did that for 6 years, and it almost broke me. I didn't get revenge. I didn't expose him, didn't ruin his career, didn't turn people against him. I just left. And his world fell apart because I wasn't there to hold it together. That's not revenge. That's just reality. Daniel asked me once if I ever think about Marcus. Sometimes.
Does it bother you?
No, it's just distance, like remembering a place I used to live. It existed, it was real, but I don't live there anymore. He kissed my forehead.
I'm glad you don't.
2 years after I left, I stopped counting the time. He became just a person I used to know, a chapter I closed. And I was okay with that. I didn't win because I was smarter or stronger or better than him. I won because I chose myself. Because I decided that being alone was better than being disrespected. Because I walked away and didn't look back. Sometimes people ask me if I ever got closure. If I ever got to tell him how much he hurt me. If I ever got to hear him really apologize. The answer is no. And I don't need to. Closure isn't something someone else gives you. It's something you give yourself. I got closure the day I packed my things. The day I blocked his number. The day I decided that my peace was more important than his understanding. Daniel and I got married in the spring. Small ceremony, close friends and family, nothing extravagant. Sarah was my maid of honor. During her speech, she said something I'll never forget.
I watched her walk away from something that was killing her, and I watched her build something beautiful in its place. That takes courage most people don't have.
I cried. Not because I was sad, but because she was right. It did take courage. Every day I chose not to answer. Every time I wanted to check if he'd messaged. Every moment I had to sit with the discomfort of being alone rather than going back to something familiar but toxic. That took courage. 3 years after I left, I was at a medical conference. I saw him across the lobby. Marcus. He looked smaller somehow, older, tired. He was standing behind a vendor booth, handing out pamphlets to people who walked past without looking at him. He saw me at the same time. Our eyes met for just a second. I felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction, no curiosity about his life. Just nothing. I turned and walked toward my session. Didn't look back. I don't know if he tried to follow me. Don't know if he wanted to talk. I didn't give him the chance. Because I learned something important in those 3 years. You don't owe anyone access to you. Not your time, not your attention, not your energy. Not even if you loved them once. Not even if they're sorry. not even if they've changed. You get to decide who gets to be in your life. And you get to close the door on anyone who proved they don't deserve to be. Daniel asked me about it later.
Was that him? In the lobby?
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. And I meant it. He squeezed my hand. We went to dinner, talked about the conference, made plans for the weekend. Marcus didn't come up again. 4 years after I left, Daniel and I had our first child. A daughter. She has his eyes, my stubbornness. Holding her in the hospital, I made her a promise. I will never teach you that love means shrinking yourself. I will never tell you to stay with someone who doesn't see you. I will teach you that walking away is sometimes the bravest thing you can do. Daniel heard me, kissed my forehead.
She's lucky to have you.
I never told her about Marcus. There was nothing to tell. He was just someone I used to know. Someone who taught me what I wouldn't accept. Someone who taught me that love without respect isn't love at all. 5 years after I left, I stopped marking the anniversary in my head. It was just my life. Good days and hard days, victories and setbacks, growth and rest. But it was mine. Built on my choices, my boundaries, my worth. People sometimes ask me if I regret those 6 years. If I wish I'd left sooner. The answer is complicated. Do I wish I hadn't been hurt? Of course. Do I wish I'd recognized my worth earlier? Yes. But those 6 years taught me something I couldn't have learned any other way. They taught me that I'm strong enough to leave. Strong enough to sit with discomfort. Strong enough to rebuild. And that's worth something. Marcus didn't destroy me by cheating. He couldn't, because I didn't let him. I took the pain, I felt it, I processed it. And then I built something better. That's not revenge. That's not even justice. That's just choosing yourself. Over and over and over again. Until one day you realize you're not choosing anymore. You're just living. And the person who hurt you is just gone. Not because you pushed them away, but because you walked towards something better and left them behind. He lost me because I left, and I never looked back. Thank you so much for listening to this story. If it resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment below and let me know what you thought. Did this story hit home? Have you ever had to make a choice like this? To walk away from something that was hurting you, even though it was hard? And here's something I always love seeing. Leave a comment telling me where in the world you're listening from and what time it is there right now. It's amazing to me that we can share these stories across time zones and continents. I love building this community with you. If you have a similar experience, or if you just want to share your thoughts, I'm here for it. This channel is built on your stories, your strength, and your courage. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself, and remember, you deserve to be chosen, not tolerated. I'll see you in the next one.